Hi, Neil from Grid Guru, and I thought I'd do a blog this week about a rise in something we've seen here at the office, which are incorrect G98 notifications and G99 applications. So I've done a blog here that I'll put up on the site, and we'll pop this video on YouTube as well, I think. And I'll just talk you through it briefly so you can see what's going on and get a better idea of what you're doing out there. So we've seen overall now about 30% of new incoming work are G98 and G99 corrections. So what typically happens will be that G98s, one of two things is happening. People are not notifying the DNO when the install is complete. You need to be notifying the DNO if you've installed a circuit or an install up to 3.68 kilowatts. The second issue we're seeing is incorrect G98 notifications. So people who are installing inverters that perhaps they may have quoted for, and in all fairness, when they come around to do the install, maybe a new version of that inverter has come out, but they've notified the inverter that was on the quote, not the inverter that's actually been installed. So we need to be making sure that the DNO is informed of the correct inverter that was installed. Moving on from that, we've got our G99 applications. What's a G99 application? It's an application to the network for a circuit above 3.68 kilowatts. Typically, again, what we're seeing with that are either non-applications, applications, then notifications with the incorrect inverter, again, which is completely understandable if there's maybe 2 months gone since the quotation was put out there and a new version of inverter has come in and the new version's been installed, but the offer was for the previous version inverter. Then we have to do a reapplication to the network for the offer to be for the later style inverters going in. Typically a retrospective offer will sort this issue out. The most popular thing that we see are notifications not going in post G99 application. So when you do a G98, you've got 28 days to notify. There's not actually a rule in place for G99s, but I like to stick to definitely within 28 days. And there's no reason why we don't really put these applications in as soon as the install is complete. So what we do is we diarize all of our installers to make sure we're chasing you guys to let us know when the installs are complete, so nothing's forgotten about. And then we'll make sure when we inform the DNO, they get informed of the correct inverter that's gone in the correct amount of time. The other thing that we look at when we're here are any issues we get with the offers or designs that go into the DNO. These can typically be export limitations that the network can't handle. So let's take an example. We want to put in a 20 kilowatt system in a farm. Farm's quite far away from the transformer, for instance. So the cable running is a bit tight. So the DNO will typically say, we would like to put a 10 kilowatt export restriction on this. I'll make an offer of that. So we'll go back and forth with the DNO, make sure there's no network upgrades coming, maybe in the next 12 months, or we could hold off a little bit and then install the full size system. We'll look at the costs of upgrading a network. Typically, they're in the tens of thousands, so we generally don't go down that route. But what we do typically go down, the G100 export limitation. What's a G100? So a G100 is a compliant inverter that can restrict the export, or a separate G100 system put in place that again would restrict the export from the inverter back to the grid. So we'll make sure that we'll get the best design for the client in place before we're coming back to you with offers that we know you're not going to be happy with or not going to accept. And we'll make sure that the DNOs, they've examined the network correctly to make sure that the offer they're giving us is the maximum that we can get. So there's quite a bit of going back and forth a lot of the time, especially on the bigger designs. So there's your posts notification, 28-day rule for your G98s. This, again, is the correct inverter type. referencing then the version 1s, version 2, we see a lot of this going through, which is completely understandable between the length of time of quotation, because some of the DNOs can take up to 45 working days, not working days, to get an offer back to you. So you could sometimes be 3 months from a quote to an install, and typically within that time there may well have been a new inverter, exactly the same size, etc., but just a different version that's been released. But we need to tell the DNO the correct inverter that's going in place. Here, what we do, we'll look at all of the aspects of the installation that are going in. So we'll be providing the DNO with the schematics, letters of authority, site plans, etc., etc. So we know what to ask you for up front before we get in touch with the DNO to get those applications in as efficiently as possible. Another thing worth pointing out as well is what the number of DNOs. So there are 6 main DNOs. There are 17 INOs. So it's directing your application to the correct company. A DNO is a district network operator, so generally quite a large area, and INO is an independent network operator, so quite small area. And what we'll see sometimes is that actually you can submit to the wrong, you submit to a DNO, which should have gone to an INO, and only at the final hurdle will the DNO realize, oh, hang on, this isn't our, actually, whilst it's in our area, it's not part of our network. And then we have to restart the whole process again with the INO. And we've got a full list of these companies that we're able to identify from source. So when your application comes into us, we know it's going to the correct company. So that's pretty much it for me talking on this blog. I'll let you have a read through all of the links, etc. I've put here. And of course, you can always pop over to the site. Here we have all the services that we provide, our pricing. There's a member section in the top corner where you can simply click on, sign up. There's no charge of signing up. All our prices are pay as you go. We don't contract anybody in to any work. Sure, we do offer discount for volume, but generally we're more concerned about looking after the installers. We only work business to business. We don't work with the public. We basically look after your customers on your behalf. So, and we're here to help out through any process. Here is our full DNO section. So as you can see, there's quite a number of services there. We also offer the handover packs. These are typically post-install, very popular with the installers. I've got a separate video coming up on this. We can assist with design, full consultation, and of course, any MCS onboarding. Okay, I think that's enough for me talking now. Enjoy the blog, and I'll look forward to working with you soon. Thanks.